Tiffany Stiltner, and I'm the Director of Family Connections at the University of Pikeville.
Family connections, that is fascinating. I wonder, Steph, as a kid, did you grow up saying, I want to be the Director of Family Connections, or what did you want to do as a kid?
I depended on the day, really. I remember playing teacher a lot, wanted to be the teacher, making the little worksheets and having my friends fill them out, and we would do these things. Just kind of play, because I had a lot of group and housing projects, so there's a lot of kids there. So we all took turns playing teacher. I also remember vividly setting my stuffed animals and dolls up on this little table and chair set and taking their pictures, and then rearranging them, and then taking their Polaroid pictures. So there's little photography teas in there. Then I wanted to junior high. I remember writing on an 8th grade paper that it says, what do you want to be when you grow up? It was like an 8th grade little memory book we made. And I said, any career in law. Like I knew what that meant. That was as a direct result of losing a family member to a gun accident. And so I just just wherever the season in my life was, that was just it's like, oh, I want to be this. And oh, I wanted to be a band director too. Whenever I was in high school into the marching band, I wanted to be my band director when I grew up. I wasn't even good at the instrument I played. Fell down on the marching band field. So those things.
So then, today, you're kind of like a teacher in some ways with some first-year studies students, but definitely not in law or definitely not a marching band instructor.
No.
Would you say that you have a dream job, and what might that be?
No, because a dream job, I think, is something you would aspire to, and that's the pinnacle of your career, and that's like, I'm here. Like, I've landed, I've got it, this is it. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know. I have ideas of where I want to go. It's all in higher education, but you just don't know. I just want to be... grow within the field of higher education, especially with families, but also first-year students and the orientation, transition, retention. I didn't really know I had a passion for that until like the past couple years. But it all just kind of fit, and so I've really embraced that. But no, dream job seems like where you stop. So I don't really say I have a dream job.
To get where you're at today, probably had a lot of turns in life. And what would you say really spurred you onto this path that you're on right now?
To be honest, broken roads, kind of, really. And all my experiences, all your experiences lead, I think everything happens for a reason. All the experiences lead you to where you are, and I think that's, for the most part, if we follow those and our gut instinct along the way, we go to where we're supposed to go. So, what was the question again?
We're talking about what spurred you onto the life path that you're on right now.
Well, okay, going way back to growing up in the housing project with single moms who had been stay-at-home moms. I remember sitting outside of the evening and them telling us, now girls, don't you always just depend on a man for money. Be able to support yourself. No matter what you do, just be able to support yourself in case whatever happened. Because those were all ladies who, my mom included, who divorce happens and they're finding themselves trying to go back to school or do part-time jobs and kind of figure it out. Life past divorce with kids. So I thought, I'm not going to depend on a man. I'm going to be able to support myself. I'm going to be able to support myself financially. Okay, so, and I've always done that. So that I wanted a career. Never kind of knew what that would be exactly, but I just knew I was going somewhere. Went, fast forward, came to Pikeville College. Followed my friends here. Just came, didn't know what I did, went through the process. I did not know anything. First generation student, had no idea what the process was. All I knew is the day before classes, you stood in this line and got your ID, and that afternoon you went to financial aid, and I said, what does this mean? And they said, well, can you pay this money? And I was like, no. They said, you have to sign this loan paper. If you want to stay in school, sign here. And that was basically, so I really clueless. And I came on my own, moved in on my own with my friends, because I was a big girl. and my major, this was interesting. My major was med tech. We had a med tech program back then. I don't know what a med tech was. I still don't know what a med tech is. I heard they made a lot of money, and they got to wear scrubs and tennis shoes to work and push buttons on big machines. That's full, honest to God, that's the full extent I knew of what a med tech was. Because someone worked in my aunt's office, and I thought, she's pretty cool. She makes good money. So that's what my advisor at the time, Carol Grizzard, never forget it, put me in all these classes to prepare me to be a med tech, which ended up being with classmates who had AP biology and chemistry in high school, and we did crossword puzzles in high school. So I was not prepared for chemistry or anything like that. So one semester in, I dropped biology, made Glenn Brown cry just about. It was the sweetest professor ever. The most gentle man. He tried so hard to every way to keep me in class, and I thought, nope, can't do it. Cannot do biology. Can't do it. And got through Tom Hess's chemistry class with a wing and a prayer and help from somebody else who knew something, because I didn't. And I got through that with a D. Never forget the final. I was late. I was the last one in, first one out. I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, see you later. So anyway, I dropped out of school. Dropped out of the university at that time because just didn't know what I was doing, and going through the motions just didn't feel right. So long story short, I went to community college, vocational training, things like that, and I answered at the end of the training school. I was going to be a medical reception or something. It was like a tech school. And so at that time, part of the closing class was you got to apply for some jobs that you're qualified for, make your resume, all this good stuff. So back to the old newspaper. I mean, truly newspaper, a small ad, just like 3 little lines. It said, I think it said receptionist, mail resumes to P.O. Box, blank, blank, Pikeville, Kentucky. No idea where it was. No idea who would see it. Nothing. Just receptionist and a mailing address. Totally blind ad. So I got a call, and it ended up being as a receptionist for public affairs at Pikeville College. And I know yes. So here I was, 20 years old, the age of a college student. And so I'll never forget it. August 22nd, 1998, I start working as a receptionist in public affairs. And here I was seeing people my age going by and going to class. I was working full time, doing my thing, and which is grateful. And it was a good place to be, but it was different. I was supporting myself. I was doing my thing and supporting my family best I could. But it was different. So, long story short, I know this is not short, but I ended up completing my degree while working full time, and so that gave me opportunities. My other opportunities that came through just advancing in the public affairs world is I would hurry and do my stuff. I would hurry and type those letters or memos or send those emails or check in faxes back in the day. So I'd hurry and do all that, and then I'd go door to door to my coworkers, like, what can I help you with? What can I help you with? What are you working on? What can I help you with? So I would typeset things, or very simple task for them, but it just got me into I would hurry up and do my work so I could help everybody else. And I don't even remember where we were on the questions.
Well, that's so powerful. I mean, imagine Carol Grizzard today.
I know.
Just seeing how proud she is of how you're having an impact.
Mm-hmm.
So today, when you think about the impact you're trying to make in people's lives and helping them, how would you define your call? If I said, hey, staff, define your call in a sentence, how would you do that?
It's hard. I don't have one sentence answers for anything. But I just think the side of me that, I don't know, calling, it's really hard. I just want to take my strengths, which I've developed through opportunities that people have given me, and my passion, kind of where my heart is, and put those together to really make a difference. And I really think it's my calling. I can't put a pinpoint on it, but it's somewhere around the orientation transition of first year students and their families. And really, that's my calling for now. Who knows what my lifelong calling is when I will be 50, 60, 70, who knows. But for right now, I really think that's where it's at. And my college dropout, my experience of doing it the hard way, there's no easy way, but doing it the hard way of working full time, seeing people my age doing the college thing, and I'm doing that, going to school part time in the evenings, and that sort of thing. And then the family being a non-traditional student, first year student, all those kind of things. I think that those experiences prepared me to be relatable now. So I remember that, and I see myself and similar students in those situations. But also, I'm also the age of most of the families that I'm like, it's okay. It's a thing. It's just part of the process. This is normative behavior. It's okay. And they believe me. Believe it or not. They believe me. So it's kind of that relatability factor on both sides.
So with that, as you talk about your job right now, ever evolving, right?
Oh, yeah.
A couple years ago, you wouldn't have seen yourself in this role, but here you are now. Would you say that your current career aligns with your overall life call?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel strong about where I am, and I said this just yesterday to somebody. I'm very, very blessed to do what we do in a place that I love. For a school of our size to have a full-time person dedicated to families is very, very unique, and I don't take that lightly. And there's a purpose behind it, but our mission aligns with it. And so I get to see every day how we just put all those pieces together and just kind of build that outside support system for families. So, yeah, I think because your family experiences, good, bad, ugly, and different, they make who you are. And then the opportunities, choices, dead-end roads, that kind of all brought me here. Because there's no way I could relate to them had I went through the traditional path of coming on campus, doing 4 years, doing the traditional thing, and going back. I wouldn't be able to help them over the bumps if I didn't have bumps. I mean, that's just how it is.
Right, and oftentimes we have important people or important roles in our lives that really help us to kind of get where we're at. And walk us through maybe an important role or person or something like that that really helped you get where you're at today.
Oh my gosh, there's several. Of course, those ladies sitting on the breezeway when I was young, make sure you're able to take care of yourself. And then the ladies who I worked through high school and college in a deli at a grocery store, that they kind of took me under their wing as a project, I guess, and tried to keep raising me. And I always made messes and the whole thing. And so they were there as far as a network. You don't need to work in this deli. You don't need to be 45, 50 like me working in this deli. Go to college. And so they pushed that. And then obviously the lady who hired me from a blind ad, I was a hot mess that day. And she saw something in me, I suppose. Maybe she saw it as a project. I don't know. But she gave me those opportunities that she didn't have to. And then all the mentors along the way. But you have to be, people have to be receptive to mentors and realize, let them play that role because you need them and they need you. So if somebody offers that guidance, take them up on it. I mean, that's been huge. And obviously I'm a people person. I could talk to a rock. But taking advantage of all those opportunities, I guess. So there's lots of people. They've all been female. So they've all been female, and most of the time they've all been mostly around my mother's age, kind of that generation, that kind of nurturing, motherly kind of thing. I guess and even at church, there was ladies at church that kind of adopted me and just in different ways to say, do this, don't do that, or think about this sort of thing. So, and those were my friends. That's who I just kind of leaned on. Is they're all ladies.
A lot of people have to cross our paths to help us get to where we're at. What would you say that you did to align yourself to get on this career calling that you're on?
Be open and responsive to when opportunities kind of came, or when people suggest something. Actually, to get into the current position I'm in, there was one person said, how about something with families? And that was it. Boom. And then, of course, it was more than a year and a half later, it kind of came to fruition. But it's just when I was open and honest, and they was like, hey, what do you want to do? Where are you kind of at? And I kind of talked and rambled just like I'm doing now, and like, how about something with families? That's it. And I was like, yes. And then top of mind, honestly, from never even dreamed of it, top of mind, I just went blah, and I just listed all kinds of things, that opportunities we could do and how it would help, and so like, and that was it. I planted the seed, and then I had to wait until it was an opportunity. But yeah, simple as that. How about something with families? Which grew into first year students, which I had no idea. I had a passion for helping most people.
You mentioned earlier about how you had bumps in the road.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say there were any obstacles that you had to work through? And if so, how did you work through those to express your call?
Oh, obstacles. Sometimes I didn't. I just, you cry and you find a family friend and they kind of help you out and pull you out and do that kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, you just have to do it. I mean, whatever that is, you just have to do it. Not do it the exact way you want it or the time frame you want it. It's just really head down, push through it, and hopefully come out on the other side.
So you are a living model of grit, resiliency, pushing hard towards what you feel like is the right thing in the moment. So students, you encounter a lot of students, whether at Growl or just daily life.
Mm-hmm.
So when a student comes across your path and they say, Steph, I have no idea about my call or what I'm supposed to do with my life, what closing advice would you have to them?
You're 18. You're not supposed to. You're 18 for the most part. You're not supposed to. I'm 41 and I still don't know what I'm going to be when I grow up. You just don't stop. You're not supposed to, and that's okay. I mean, because if you do, good for you. If you have that. But no, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to go out and be open to all these opportunities, and that's why wave the liberal arts flag. I mean, you have all these different experiences, but you're not supposed to. Nobody's got it figured out. If they do, they're lying. Really, I mean, don't worry about it. Take your time, do the thing, and just keep going. Even if you have to float through for a while, it'll click. One day it'll hit you like a ton of bricks, and it'll click. Maybe when you're 40, 41, but it'll click whenever it's time.